We are on the air from the Hartford Civic Centre. A busy night of action awaits. In our main event, Billy Gunn looks to get back on track, but boy does he have a tough challenge, that being the WWF champion Triple H. Test teams with Patterson and Briscoe to take on the Mean Street Posse, and after putting the Road Dogg on the shelf, Chris Jericho now faces Val Venis. The number one contender for the European title come Unforgiven D'Lo Brown, who's been on a win streak as of late, takes on Al Snow, who's been on a crazy streak, I guess. Whilst kicking things off right now, we are going to have some tag team action as The Rock and Mankind set to collide with Kane and X-Pac. The Rock and Mankind are already in the ring as we await the Big Red Machine and X-Pac. X-Pac doesn't seem to be here. He and Kane usually enter together. X-Pac has said he wants to go it alone lately without Kane, but this is a scheduled tag team match, and it looks like Kane is on his own.
1, 2, is this on? Yo, Jimmy, hit me with that Triple H. Yeah, you let the music keep playing, Mr. Don. Yo, tell me what time it is now.
Rather bizarrely, it's Triple H that is going to be teaming with Kane here. Why, we do not know, but given the history with these two, surely Kane cannot trust the game. And X-Pac, we don't know where he is or why he has not appeared tonight. Triple H leaving the apron there briefly to send Shane to the back. Even more strange behaviour here from Triple H. Oh, and Kane inadvertently striking the game there. Triple H looking for the tag now. Kane has yet to tag out. It's going to be a tough task trying to put away the tag team champions on his own. Nevertheless, Kane sends The Rock for the ride. Goes in. But oh, he catches Triple H on the follow through as The Rock moves. And now Triple H finally getting involved here. Oh no, the game taking out the sledgehammer. And he is taking it to Kane, who's meant to be his partner. But them two accidental shots from Kane and no tag has sent Triple H over the edge. Or was this his plan all along? As the ref gets the sledgehammer out of the ring, Rock, who is down on the outside, I don't think he's seen any of this go down. And there's the rock bottom. Into the cover. 2, 3. And the Rock and Mankind retain, chalk the assist up to Triple H. And there's Hardcore Holly walking very gingerly. He's looking for his cousin Crash. Back on Raw, Hardcore Holly appeared to be injured before the break. He was looking for Crash, who has now himself been injured. But by who? We'll have updates on Crash and Hardcore when we get them. Very similar attack to that which the Acolytes suffered last Thursday on Smackdown. More on that later as we reveal who was behind said attacks. You have to wonder if the same culprits were responsible tonight as well. Steve Blackman interfering here on the outside, distracting Val, who's been rolled up by Jericho with the small package, and it has led to the victory for Y2J. Gotta wonder, what does Blackman have against Val? But nevertheless, it's back-to-back wins for Chris Jericho. The Posse getting the jump on Patterson and Briscoe. 3-on-2 advantage here as we await the arrival of Test, and Joey Abs taking it to the 52-year-old Briscoe, who's been retired for 14 years for the most part. Pat and Jerry do have a prior victory over the Posse. Here comes Test running Yakuza kick as Joey Abs lands hard. Test has had the love of his life taken away from him, partly due to the antics from the Posse, the rage inside of him being taken out here on Shane's lackeys. Big swinging neck breaker. into the pump handle to Rodney. Test on fire here. There's the doctor bomb, that gut wrench. And there goes Rodney. And that just leaves Pete Gas. Sit out choke bomb. And now Patterson and Briscoe taking care of Rodney on the outside. The tables have turned on the posse. The numbers are now against them. And look at Jerry and Pat go. And there's the figure 4 leg lock from Gerald Briscoe. Test up top. There's the elbow into the cover. 2. And there's the 3. Great showing from Test and the Stooges who get the win.
What does everybody want? What does everybody need?
You're looking at the real deal now. Gonna kick your sorry ass out on the street. That what you got? I used to think you own the street. Put back your bag and your ass is dead meat. Victory is sweet. Bring it on. Here's a receipt. Bring it on.
Al Snow versus D'Lo Brown underway. Al fleeing the ring straight away to avoid an oncoming D'Lo. And now Al making a run for it, or rather going for a run around the ring. And I'm not sure why, unless he wants to tire himself out here. Not the most sound strategy, but then again, Al is known to be a few sandwiches short of a picnic. D'Lo looks on from the ring. He's as confused as all of us are. Al Snow completes another lap around the ring. We know Al's mission as of late is to regain the hardcore title, something which means more to him than almost anything in the world besides probably head. And as for D'Lo, it may actually be in his best interest to take the count-out win here, keep him intact and healthy ahead of his challenge for the European title at Unforgiven. And Al Snow leaving up the ramp, and I don't think D'Lo will ever have an easier win than that. Oh, and Mark Henry from behind, D'Lo's opponent, come Unforgiven, and he is going to try and make sure D'Lo doesn't leave here tonight unscathed, despite the easy victory. But D'Lo comes back with the Irish whip. Oh, and Henry straight out of the corner with that huge clothesline from a huge man, the world's strongest man. Back into the corner goes D'Lo, and then Mudhole stomps from the European champion. Gonna send him the other way. What strength, what power and force. And there's the bear hug. Henry squeezing the life out of D'Lo, but D'Lo still standing just barely. Back on Raw, and we're going to return to last week's Smackdown now. It was scheduled to be the final of the Eliminator match to determine the next number 1 contenders for the tag team titles, but just before the match was set to begin, Farouk of the Acolytes would be attacked backstage. His partner Bradshaw would come to his aid following the assault. The team still intended to compete for the shot at the titles, but just as they were about to go through the curtain, it would be Bradshaw this time who was attacked. We were in a commercial break at the time, but our cameras managed to pick up the aftermath, and while all this was happening, the Acolytes' scheduled opponents, the Hardy Boys, would be making their way down to the ring. It was clear the Acolytes would be in no shape to join them, but one team would, and that would be the Dudley Boys, who we can confirm now have made the jump from ECW and have signed deals with the WWF. And as for the mystery attacks, well, they continue tonight as the Hollies, who are scheduled to face Edge and Christian to decide who will go on to face the Hardys on SmackDown to determine the number 1 contenders for the tag team titles, since the Acolytes are unable to compete as a team at the moment. However, the Hollies would suffer the same fate as the Acolytes, as both were left laying and unable to compete tonight. Now fans, we have held off revealing who was behind these attacks due to the fact we could not confirm whether the assailants worked for the WWF or not. But yes, the Dudley Boys are responsible for each of the attacks on the Acolytes and the Hollies, so we will now look to settle the score. But before we do that, we have the matter of deciding who the number 1 contenders for the tag team titles are. And with at least one member of both the Hollies and the Acolytes being out of action, it means the remaining team from the Eliminator tournament, Edge and Christian, will collide with the Hardys for a shot at the tag team titles this Thursday on SmackDown. And as for the Dudleys, they are also set to compete Thursday, but we now know that will not be as ECW superstars, but rather as the WWF ones, as we will see singles action as Bubba Ray Dudley takes on Farouk, who will be on his own due to the injury to Bradshaw. The same can be said for Hardcore Holly, who will be without his cousin Crash, but will still wrestle himself Thursday on Smackdown as he takes on the Intercontinental Champion Chyna in a non-title match. And just announced 2 blockbuster matches scheduled, as well as Kane looks for revenge on Triple H, who left him laying tonight when he was meant to be his tag team partner. This one also a non-title, but we will see championship gold on the line as The Rock and Mankind defend against The Big Show and The Undertaker in the first ever tag team casket match. This one is gonna be off the charts. It's a stacked Smackdown on the cards coming your way this Thursday. But up next, we have your main event of the evening as Badass Billy Gunn goes one-on-one with Triple H. We are back, main event underway. Billy Gunn versus Triple H. Hunter taking issue with Gunn attacking Chyna last week on SmackDown. And look at the strength of Gunn. Military press. Unbelievable. And now Gunn into the sunset flip. Could this be all here? And no, only 2. That was the move Chyna pinned Mr. Ass with last week on Raw. And now Hunter, oh no, the sledgehammer. And Chyna, so she's trying to pry it away from the game. I guess she wants Gunn healthy for their match at Unforgiven. They're also still friends, you have to think. Kane is here, and rest assured he wants a piece of Triple H for what happened earlier tonight. Shane and Chyna trying to stop the Big Red Machine, however. Kane probably still wondering where was X-Pac tonight, and Kane definitely wants revenge on the game even before their match on SmackDown Thursday. Shane and Chyna managing to keep Kane at bay as Triple H watches on from the ring. Oh my, there is going to be hell to pay on SmackDown. This a surefire way to make the monster even angrier. Meanwhile, Gunn back to his feet. Hunter was distracted by the brawl. Famouser into the cover. Surely this has got to be it. And oh, the game gets the shoulder up. Gunn has got to be wondering what does he have to do to put Triple H away. What a performance Billy Gunn has put in here tonight. Hell of a match this has been. Gunn going up top now. What is this? And oh my god, Gunn went for the Famouser from the top rope. He crashed and burned on the outside, and he could have an injured tailbone at this stage, but Triple H taking advantage now with the pedigree. And this has got to be all, but it's been an incredible effort from Billy Gunn, but just not enough to beat the game. Triple H your winner. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. Don't miss SmackDown Thursday as The Rock and Mankind defend the tag team titles against Big Show and Undertaker in the first ever tag team casket match. Also, Kane takes on Triple H.